Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Nay. Welcome to Nay's Kitchen and Gardening Adventures, and in today's video I am going to be talking about how to start a garden for beginners, or if you are starting over like I am. So this is my second gardening season if you are new here, and I used to garden at my parents' house, but I had to stop that, and now I am gardening somewhere else. So this is just things that I have been doing, but if you are a beginner and if you are new, then I think that this will be great for you to really think about, and just a little guide on how to start establishing a garden and what to do and everything. So I'm gonna start. If you see me looking down, I have my notes right here. So let's get started, y'all. Alright, so the first thing of how I would plan a new garden if I was a beginner or starting over, and this is something that I kind of thought about after the fact, but Brie Ellis, she made a short, I believe, about this. Some of her followers and subscribers have mentioned this. So it's called Shade Map, and you can just look it up on Google, and if I can link it, I'll link it down below. The Shade Map app really helped me kind of have an idea of where I'm going to put my garden. I'm still not 100% sure because I would like to see the sunlight for myself. Maybe within the next like few weeks. I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. Maybe in the next few weeks or so, I just want to observe just to see where the light is hitting, so that way I have an idea of where exactly to put, of where I'm going to put my garden. I have an idea, especially because I was up potting yesterday and I kind of saw a little bit, but it is only March, so I need the days to get a little bit longer and for the sun to be out a little bit longer. But I would recommend that. So Shade Map, you can put in your address and then it'll show you kind of like where the shade will hit and everything. So I think that will be very helpful if you have no idea where to put your garden. You want to make sure that you are getting at least 8 hours of sunlight a day, if not more, but definitely at least 8 hours of sunlight a day. That's where you should put your garden, especially if you're going to grow tomatoes, peppers, and all your summer-loving, heat-loving crops. Definitely want to make sure you put it in an area where it doesn't shade out too quick. So that would be my first number one recommendation. Next would be your garden beds. And I got my garden beds off of Amazon. If I can find the exact ones that I got, I will link them down below so you can check them out. I have 2 fabric beds, and then I have 4 metal raised beds, all of various sizes. So again, I will link those down below. But you can get them from Amazon, you can get them from Epic Gardening, you can get them from Vigo. I would love to get a Vigo garden bed, especially the elevated garden bed with the wheels on it. I would love to get that one day, but those are definitely some companies that you can look into if you want to get garden beds. Or if you want to make your own, you can make wooden garden beds. I just have the metal raised bed, so I would do that. And that's if you're raised bed gardening. If you're going to do it in ground, I have no tips for you. Just make sure you, I guess, test your soil and see what kind of soil that you have. I'm not really familiar with in-ground gardening. I've only done raised beds between last season and this upcoming season. So I would maybe kind of just look that up if you want to do in ground. But yeah, so that's where I would get my garden beds. And with your garden beds, you want to make sure that you are getting soil. So when it comes to soil, you just want to make sure that you are getting good quality soil. You can get soil from the big box stores. You can get soil from a company. Like this year, I will be getting a bulk soil drop, so that way I can fill up all of my raised garden beds, and even whatever, if I have anything left, I'll fill up my grow bags and things like that. But your soil health and the quality of your soil does matter. You can work with it over time, but if you're new and you don't have maybe that many raised beds, like the bulk is if you have a lot of raised beds. But if you don't have that many, I would just say get some bag soil from the big box store. If I can find the soil that I have, I'll link it down below. I don't know if I would recommend it still now. I'll have to see. So when I was up potting, I used that particular soil last year to up pot, and this year, like, it was just too wavy for me, at least to up pot. But I did fill up a grow bag with it, so I will let you know how that does in a future video. But you could also probably get like better quality soil. I know for me, like sometimes I just have to go with what's affordable and everything. But if you can spend a little bit more money, I would say probably get like a higher quality soil. Or if you want to do like have compost, have topsoil, and put some organic matter at the bottom of your beds, you can do that. So those are just my recommendations. And then with soil comes soil amendments. So to start off with, I would say get a good balanced all-purpose organic fertilizer, some worm castings, maybe bone and blood meal, for depending on what you're planting. If you feel like you'll need those things, those will be the soil amendments that I would recommend for beginners. And if you don't want to get all that, just an all-purpose balanced organic fertilizer will do you some good. And then get a liquid organic fertilizer. So your liquid organic fertilizer is going to help feed your plants for like a week or two, but then the granulated fertilizer can feed your plants up to like maybe like a month or two or more, depending on the fertilizer. So I would just say just go with that. I think that will be very helpful, especially as you're developing, you know, your soil health and you're putting some nutrients in for your plants. So that would be my recommendation. Next would be, how are you going to keep everything watered? So for me, particularly this year, I'm looking into getting a drip irrigation system because I'm growing a lot more this season, and I know personally I'm not going to want to hand water everything, and where I'm gardening at, I'm not even there every single day. So for me, an irrigation system just makes a whole lot of sense. Now you can hand water your garden, because that's what me and my sister did last year. We hand watered our garden, but if you can, I would say invest in an irrigation system, because you can set a timer and you don't have to worry about going out there every single day to make sure everything is watered, because you know it's on a system, it's on a timer and everything like that. So I would just think about how you're going to keep everything watered, because especially when it's hot outside, it's going to need consistent watering. And let me tell you something, when it's hot outside, you don't want to be outside unless you are outside early in the morning or late in the afternoon, not midday. It's going to be too hot. You're not going to want to do it. So that would be my best advice for that. And then lastly, I would say, what is it that you want to plant and what is it that you want to grow? That is like a big thing, right? So you start with what you already either buy from the store or what you know your family likes. I know for me and my family, we eat a lot of green beans. We eat a lot of zucchini and squash. We eat a lot of lettuce. We eat a lot of salads. So like, you gotta really make a decision of what you want to grow, and then consider how much space it's going to take you to grow. Now, you don't need raised beds all the time. Depending on what you want to grow, you can honestly get you a grow bag. I will link the grow bags I use down below because they come in a 10-pack, and that is so helpful because if you don't have a lot of space or you don't have a lot of room to put like a bunch of different garden beds, even if you have like maybe a garden bed or two and then a bunch of grow bags, you can still grow you a lot of food. I grew a lot of tomatillos in 3 grow bags, and I got like a full 9x13 sheet pan of salsa verde. So it's possible. Like whatever you grow, that's on you. And you don't have to grow things that your family likes. If you want to try new things, that's the beauty of gardening. If you want to try new things, go for it. If you want to grow what you know what you're going to eat, go for it. If you want to do a combination of what you're going to eat and you want to try something new, go for it. It is your garden. You can put whatever you want in your garden. You can try whatever you want in your garden. It is your garden. So that would be my tips and tricks on how to plan a garden for the first time, or if you're starting over, how I would plan for that. So now what I want to show you is this. So I'm going to show you how I planned out my garden. So this is my gardening journal right here. You don't have to get you anything expensive. This was from Five Below. This was $5. So I just got me this gardening journal. This journal for my garden planning, and I'm actually going to show you what it looks like inside of the garden planner, so that way you have an idea of what it is and everything like that. And I'll just show you kind of like how I broke things down and what I really considered when planning out my garden. So let's look at my garden plans. Okay guys, so this is my garden planner right here. So let's open it up. Okay, so I basically started off with what will I be growing in. So here I've established, so I have established I will be growing in grow bags and in raised beds. So here I said for the grow bags, what size grow bags would I like to grow in. So I know I'm doing 7-gallon. I have 10-gallon. I thought I had 15-gallon. I actually have 20-gallon, and this is a 25-gallon. So I've established that. So here I have the size of the raised beds that I have purchased. So I know I have 2 8x4x1 raised beds. I know I have a 6x3x1 raised bed. And then I have a 6x1x1 or a 6 by like 1.5x1 fabric raised bed. And then it says it's a 4x2x1. It's more like a 4-foot bed. And then here I have like, I plan on having like cattle panel trellises and like the bulk soil and how many raised beds I have in total. So this is kind of like how I started my garden planning. And then here I have what I want to use like certain size grow bags for. So for my 25-gallon not raised beds, my 25-gallon grow bags, I know I want to do 2 for potatoes, 1 or 2 for sweet potatoes, depending on how many slips I can put in each one. I have my Japanese popcorn, blue popcorn, sweet corn, peanuts, and then on here I have established that all of my 7-gallon grow bags are going to be for herbs. And then I know that my 10 and 20-gallon grow bags are going to be for whatever I needed to, and I might end up getting 15-gallon grow bags along with that just to have more. And here my smallest raised bed will be designated to growing sweet potatoes. So I've already ordered my sweet potato slips. I'm just waiting for them to come. And then my pink leaf green stalk, which I have 2 of, are going to be for growing strawberries. And then I was going to do this for the potatoes, but I think I'm just use what I have. And then my green stalks, so I want to do a herb green stalk, I want to do a strawberry green stalk, I've already done garlic, and then one for general planting. Alright, so next I'm going to show you my seed starting plan. So this is what I did this year. And I actually like what I did because I feel like it was a lot more organized. So I did this up here for my knowledge. So I went from my estimated last frost date, which is April 7th, and then I have a plant out date, which is either going to be May 1st or May 8th, and it depends on nighttime temperatures. So that's important, especially for tomatoes and peppers, because they don't like anything under 50 degrees. So if I see I have nighttime temperatures around here that is below 50 degrees, then I know that I can plant it out here. Normally people say Mother's Day, but I want to see if I can plant out a little bit earlier than I did last year. And then my first estimated frost date is November 1st, which last year it was later than November 1st, but that's just a general date. So whenever I want to start seed starts for my fall garden, this is the date I want to keep in mind. And then here I have weeks for seed starting. So you'll see I have 2 different dates. So like this was 12 weeks from my last frost date, which was January 13th, which is from my estimated last frost. But if we're going based off my plant out dates, then February 6th would have been the latest to start these plants here. And that's what I did for 10, 8, 6. And then my 4 and 2 is kind of where I'm at right now. So this is just based off of, again, my estimated last frost date and my plant out date. And then yeah, so I have that information here, and this didn't happen, but this is something to note. Like if you're planning out a spring or fall garden, when to have an idea of when you want to plant things out. So we're actually going to get into like how I determine some of these things. Don't worry about the colors. The color coordination is for my purposes. So that's for me. So here, like I have peanuts, and I'm basing the number of plants on how many that I think will do what I need to do for me and my family. So I have 4 to 6, and I'm going to do that in a grow bag. Same thing with like eggplant, and like again, like these numbers on this side for how many plants I want to do is based off what I think will satisfy me and my family. So everybody is different. So like here I have like my melons and stuff like right here. I want to do 1 per plant because 1, I want to put it on a trellis, and 2, because I have so many different melons, I don't want to do a whole bunch of them. So that's what it looks like, kind of like front. and back right here. So that's kind of just what it looks like. So like, let's say, where's a big number? So this Hungarian Magyar paprika powder, I want to do 4 because I want to make paprika and smoked paprika powder for me and my family. So just again, however many you think that it will be based off of, that's what you do. And I have another page like here and stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you now because we're on this page. So like this right here, this pineapple tomato, I have 2. I have way more than 2. This was just a guesstimate, but how many I see started, I'm gonna put that on a page where I keep track of everything. But like some of these things here, I have way more than this. Like these San Marzanos, this one I have about like 5 of. I'm not even gonna hold you. So that's kind of like what I just do. And again, I base numbers off of me and my family's needs. So that's just a good guesstimate, and that is how I do my garden planning. Well, okay guys, so I just wanted to share that with you all. That's how I plan out my garden, and that is how I do everything. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you gained some value from watching this video. If you have any questions, please comment them down below, and I can let you know any information that you would like to know, especially when it comes to like the actual garden planning. I know that can be kind of tough. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and like this video. Please consider subscribing and share this video with any beginning gardeners, or if anybody is starting over in their gardening journey. Please share because it could help them out a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your viewership, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. So thank you. May God bless, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.